Hi, turning to the externals as we explore below topics and more. Beijing's Mouthpiece calls for equipping PLA with more nuclear weapons to intimidate the US. Senator Capito, Republicans, Democrats itching toward each other in infrastructure negotiations. China, a major policy shift, announces married couples can now have 3 children. Virginia teacher placed on leave after saying he would call students by their preferred pronouns. City on fire, over half of LA County bloodshed caused by homeless. Welcome back to the Externals. I'm your host Katherine Dang. We will be posting exclusive episodes daily you can only find in the Externals. So we invite you to like and subscribe. And let's start today by talking about Beijing's Mouthpiece call for equipping PLA with more nuclear weapons to intimidate the US. Chinese state-owned media urged the regime to equip the PLA or People's Liberation Army with the largest possible number of nuclear warheads and missiles in a short time, which should make the US allies tremble when they think about fighting with China. Hu Xijin, editor-in-chief of the Global Times, said in his May 28 editorial, "We must prepare for a tense ending to the United States and China's relationship. Once this happens, having a big stock of DF-41, JL-2 and JL-3 missiles will be a pillar of strength to support China's will to fight." The DF-41 is China's solid-fuel, road-mobile intercontinental ballistic missile, and the JL-2 and JL-3 are China's intercontinental range submarine low ballistic missiles. All 3 of these missiles can carry nuclear warheads. Whose words are in response to Kurt Campbell, President Joe Biden's Indo-Pacific Policy Coordinator, who recently said the United States and China are competitors. In a May 26 speech, Campbell told an online event hosted by Stanford University, the dominant paradigm with China is going to be competition, a period that has been broadly described as engagement has come to an end. Next, we're going to discuss about Senator Capito, Republicans, Democrats itching toward each other in infrastructure negotiations. Republicans and Democrats are slowly getting closer in negotiations on a major infrastructure package, a top GOP negotiator said on Sunday. Democrats used the budget tool called reconciliation to run through the COVID-19 relief package earlier this year, but have not turned to the tool for infrastructure because there's a hunger for bipartisanship. Senator Shelley Moore Capito said, citing how President Joe Biden told people during his inaugural speech that he would govern for voters from both parties. He had expressed to me and to our group numerous times his desire to work with us and to negotiate a package. And I think that what you see, in fact, that we're itching towards one another, she said on Fox News Sunday. I understand there's a deadline here. I understand at some point if we don't get there, but it could be because we didn't try. And it's worth it. It's worth it to show this country we can work together, we can reach compromise for the good of everybody. Capito has been a top Republican negotiator on the package, meeting multiple times with Biden to try to hammer out a deal. And the third news we're going to talk about, China, in major policy shift, announces married couples can now have 3 children. The Chinese Communist Party, CCP, announced on Monday that married couples may have up to 3 children, a major policy shift from the existing limit of 2 after recent data show a dramatic decline in births in the world's most populous country. The change was approved during a Politburo meeting chaired by Chinese leader Xi Jinping, official state media Xinhua reported. In 2060, the CCP crop its decades-old one-child policy initially imposed to halt a population explosion with a 2-child limit, which failed to result in a swift surge in births. To further optimize the birth policy, Beijing will implement a one married couple can have 3 children policy, Xinhua said in a report on the meeting. The regime's policy change will come with supportive measures which will be conducive to improving our country's population structure, fulfilling the country's strategy of actively coping with an aging population and maintaining the advantage and endowment of human resources, Xinhua said. And now let's move on to the next topic. Virginia teacher placed on leave after saying he won't call students by their preferred pronouns. An elementary school teacher in Lawndale County, Virginia was placed on administrative leave after objecting to his school district's proposed policy about pronouns, according to a report. Byron Turner Cruz, who teaches physical education at Lastest Elementary School in Lawndale County Public Schools, was placed on leave after he spoke against a proposed rule that would require teachers and staff to address students by their preferred gender identity pronouns, according to the Lawndale Times Mirror. He said that he will not affirm that a biological boy can be a girl and vice versa, because that would violate his Christian beliefs. Cruz told the board members, "I love all my students, but I will never lie to them regardless of the consequences. I am a teacher, but I serve God first, and I will not affirm that a biological boy can be a girl and vice versa, because it's against my religion. It's lying to a child, it's abuse to a child, and it's signing against our God." The policy, according to the district website, says that Loudoun County Public School staff shall allow gender-expansive or transgender students to use their chosen name and gender pronouns, regardless of the name and gender recorded in students' permanent educator record. And finally, we're going to discuss about city on fire, over half of LA County blazes, caused by homeless. Los Angeles is set up blaze up to 24 times a day. The cause? Thousands of homeless encampments. This year, fires started in homeless encampments have accounted for 54% of the bloodshed battered by the Los Angeles Fire Department, according to officers, a sharp uptick compared to 2020. As the county grapples with more than 66,000 people living on its streets, critics are pointing to the growing number of fires caused by the homeless as another indication that officers are mishandling the crisis. In parts of the city where the homeless are concentrated, residents and business owners say their concerns are not being heard. LAFD Capito Eric Scott told the Epoch Times that potential hazards in encampments come from warming and cooking fires, particularly on cold nights. He said, "One of our concerns is fires in tents where people experiencing homelessness are sleeping, where they could be injured or even die, and fires that start against a building and spread into the structure. Flames on those fires can split into the burst in wildland areas or to nearby buildings in urban areas or inside vacant buildings." And that's all for today, my friends. What do you think? Let me know below. If you like what you heard, don't forget to share it with at least one of your friends, because everyone deserves to know the truth. Thanks for tuning to the Excellence. I'm Katherine Dang, and see you next time.